and then no air. So that's a great setting. I'm from IMRSV Studios. We mainly focus on AR development. We develop some of our own IPs. We also do some client-specific IPs, and then we do a lot of marketing in both mobile AR and HoloLens. So first, I'm going to be a little bit more theoretical here because I had a hunch. How many here is working in tech? And how many in marketing? Yeah, so it's half. Okay. This is me. I've been working in marketing for 20 years now. So I thought maybe we should dig a little bit deeper in the marketing and the theories of it, because maybe we have something that could be used for you guys. So this is me. Half my life was as a marketing manager, and half running my own advertising agency that I do today as well. But now focusing on immersive. Some of my clients, we love, of course, Intel. I'm going to show you a case today, a much more boring case for SSAB, the Swedish steel industry. It's not that cool as the McDonald's and the Audi cases, of course. But maybe it has a little bit of different angle as it is business to business. So maybe I can share something on that. So, going a little bit theoretical, what is VR and AR and MR? What is the media? Where are we going? So I looked into this a little bit and started thinking, well, this is about when I started out in the late 90s. I was working as an IT guy and coming into marketing, and of course we started with the web because that was the hottest thing then. And we had web agencies back then, and this transformed as the other agencies kind of realized that the web is just another media, and I think that maybe this is where we are at with VR or immersive media. It's another channel, basically, when it comes to marketing. Okay, so are we going the same future ahead? What do you think? Do you think that the big DDBs and the big traditional agencies will swallow us? Maybe. That happened, in the early 2000s. So maybe this will happen to us as well. But of course, at least I am struggling not to, because I want to swallow DDB. So how do we do this? I think the immersive media is going to replace the web. If we're looking 10 or 15 years ahead, will we have the web? Really? We will just have our glasses or whatever, and we will have the immersive media. And why is it such a perfect media? Maya Angelou, the author, she said that people will forget what you did. They will forget what you said, but they will never forget how you made them feel. And this is so true. And this is why immersive media is the place to be. Because it's all about emotions. It's the emotion we can create in another reality. Event agencies, they call this brand experience. They've been working on that for quite some time. It's about experiencing the brand, feeling the core values when you come to this event. And we have the same possibility in immersive media as well. And they say that all of our decisions we base on emotional selling points. Nearly all of our decisions on when buying something. For example, buying a car, we buy it because of the color and the shape and the leather and the smell of the leather, or how the door thumps. That's the emotional side of it. But always we justify our choices with the rational selling points. So afterwards we say, yeah, but maybe to the spouse, it's a good fuel economy and it's a very safe car. It's 4-wheel drive and stuff like that. And this is how it works in our brains. So this is what we really have an opportunity in immersive media. So this is very very theoretical to your marketing guys, and maybe just basic. But 3 things to bear in mind: that the reason we're building brands is because we need to bridge gaps. Have this in the back of your mind when you're producing something for immersive media. So we're bridging the gap that the competitor is cheaper than my product. Did I lose you? No? Or you know, you have a difference in service or difference in delivery or whatever. So this is why we're creating the strong brands. But also we're attracting resources. If there are any clients out here, really go into immersive media, because it will attract a lot of good resources to you. A lot of good staffing. You know, the influencers, the bloggers and stuff will really love your brand. And in our case, you know, investors or whatever. So it attracts resources. And of course, it's cutting cost. Getting a good brand gets loyal customers, you know this. And a loyal customer you can sell more to, instead of just getting new ones. So, how do we do this? We have one big thing that I really want everybody in here to follow me on, is to add value. We see, or at least we have seen, a lot of immersive media things that doesn't have value. It's just gimmicks. It's just fun things. And what's going to happen is that your client won't come back. The client will not the customer, but the client will say, oh, we've already done this VR thing. Maybe this is what Memira were into. Yeah, we'll try it out. We don't know really what it, you know. So focus on adding value. And that is make money. Make money for the client. Of course, it's harder in business to consumer to show real value right now, because we need such a mass. We need a cardboard headset to do that. But in business to business, it's very possible to make real money right now. Save money, of course. We can do a lot of things by, for example, with the SSAB, we don't have to transport tons and tons of steel to Milan in this case. So we can save a lot of money in showing the production in AR or VR. Save time. You don't have to bring the customers to you or the customers there. And also simplify. We have an excellent option of simplifying complex stuff in immersive media and so on. So please, no more gimmicks, because it really hurts the industry. Just good stuff, add value. Okay, so I want to talk to you a little bit about SSAB. I think everybody in the room knows the company. Everybody in the room has a general idea that SSAB is the steel mill. It's really carbon dioxide heavy. It's a dirty manufacturing industry. I think that is in the back of the head of many. So they came to us and said, "Oh well, we've already tried VR. We've actually had that a lot. Many industries have tried VR. They're really early out and have done a lot of things in VR. So now they wanted something new. And they wanted us to do a fair in Milan. So we're doing it in 2 weeks. We will show you some sketches of it, not fancy YouTube films and stuff due to some secrecy. But they had some missions on this. They said, we want to ease the load on the sales representatives in the booth, because we got a lot of pressure and we can't staff that much in the fair. We are doing a very interesting brand transformation from this carbon dioxide filthy company to a very eco-friendly company. Because in fact, their production, if you calculate the whole life cycle of the steel, it's actually carbon dioxide neutral, and in some cases even positive. If you want to know how, talk to me afterwards. They want to launch this new concept, Eco Upgraded, in a new way that maybe starts, getting some press to have some buzz about. And they also want to bring the product to the client. And of course, the product is 20 meters long by 10 meters wide and weighs several tons. And it's very complex. I have to have those frost thing. So they wanted to show how the production works. So what we did is that we did some sketches. This is the early stage of the booth. The client comes into the booth. This is the client. It's not a blindfold, it's the HoloLens. And what happens directly is as everything dims down, it gets dark, it gets very dusty. All surfaces are with the dust, and you really feel this 18th century mill feeling. And then Margarita appears, the guide, and says, "Welcome. You know, this is how we normally perceive the industry, and let me tell you a little bit about why this is not true." So they start walking around in this booth, stopping at pedestals here and there, and from these pedestals, stuff emerges. Sheets of steel folding up to be trucks or cars or the end products. But what's happening in the background, as she goes around and she speaks, and there's a lot of diagrams popping up and illustrations, and it's very, very colorful. What's happening is that all the dust actually clears, and we're doing this so the user actually is not really noticing this. But what is happening is on the ground it starts covering a little bit more with grass, with little flowers here and there. So in the end of the presentation from the guide, the whole booth is just covered in green. Even the normal staff standing there is green. So we're showing them, we're letting them experience this transformation, and she also, of course, highlights this in the end and says that, as you see, we are really striving to be as green as possible, and this is the effect of what they're doing. So the client is really living and feeling these kinds of values with this. So, in short, before we get some air, remember, it's about feelings. Just create good feelings, hopefully. Bridging gaps, make sure you do that, and no gimmicks. And add value. Add value. And once more, add value. Okay. Whoops.
Thank you, Johan. I want to thank all of our speakers. That was amazing. I'm always stuck like holding the Oculus Rift station, so this is the first time I've been able to see all the speakers, and that was really interesting. Thanks to all of you who've been able to sit still for so long. We're going to air out the hall for a bit, and we're going to return in about 20 minutes, and then we're going to have a panel discussion, and there you will be, you can ask questions. So go out, have a bit of that, and prepare us to call you back in.